Okay, hi everyone. I haven't put up a video on our channel in some time. I don't remember the last one I put up. Oh yes, I do. It was the one about Anna having pneumonia. What's today? Today's Monday, and I think it's the 23rd of October. Yeah, so Anna's all recovered now, thankfully. She's been better for a few weeks, but right after she got home and started getting better from her pneumonia, we all got pink eye. I presume we picked it up in the hospital, the virus. So we've had it for weeks. Aaron's had it the worst. He had it for about 3 weeks solid before his eyes started to clear up. But we all had it. And then I got a sore throat for a long time. It started out as, I think, strep throat or tonsillitis or something, and took antibiotics for a week. And the sore throat never really went away, but then I went back to the doctor and he said, oh, you have a postnasal drip that's kind of chronic. He gave me some medicine, like some kind of antihistamine, and I took it last night, and this morning I woke up and for the first time in like 3 weeks solid, my throat wasn't sore, so praise God for that. Yeah, so we're recovering from various things, and that's why I'm wearing my glasses, because I'm okay, clear eyes for a couple days, but I'm gonna wait a few more days to put in my contacts just in case. Yeah, so we're recovering from illness, and I'm so hopeful that it's gone. Whatever the virus is that's causing us all to get sick is out of my house, because I'm so tired of being sick and taking care of sick people and not being able to go places and do things because we're sick. So it'll be nice to be better again. But anyway, I just wanted to make a little video to update what's going on. So that's one thing. We're all getting better from being sick. Yay. So the other big thing that's going on with us right now, and I think I alluded to it a little bit in my last video, is that we're moving. We're not moving abroad. I'm sorry. We're staying in Taiwan. Those of you that are desperately wishing that we'd move back to the US or elsewhere, we're not. But we are moving to a different apartment here in Taichung. Literally up the road from our current place, about 6 minutes by car up the road to the south. So the place we'll be moving to is right on the south edge of Taichung, here in Taichung district. And how we came across this place is kind of an interesting story, so I'll tell you. So for a while now, Aaron and I have been thinking that we would like to own a car. We can't really afford a car at the moment, but even if we could, even if somebody said, here's a car I want to give you, which would be really awesome, by the way, if you have a car you want to give us, we couldn't have a car right now because we have nowhere to put a car. We literally have nowhere to put it. The building we're in right now has car parking spots, but in the basement, but they're all taken because we're actually the only people in this building who don't own the apartment. Everybody else in this building owns the apartment. Our landlady didn't want to sell yet because she loves this place, and she was only willing to rent it to us because we look like we would take care of it. Prior to us being here, I think I said in one of my other videos, this place has been empty for a year because it wasn't listed. We only found it through word of mouth and asking at the security. So we are the only renters in all of these apartments in our buildings here. Everyone else owns it, so they therefore own the parking spots that their cars are in. There's a bit of a lottery system for the scooter parking, and we did manage to get a scooter parking spot in the basement, but there's no possibility for us to put a car down there. And on our block, there's no parking for cars. We've actually had a friend's car towed when we borrowed it once because we accidentally parked it for a couple minutes out in front of our building, and a tow truck came by, and you're not supposed to park in front of our building. Anyway, I guess it's already a long story, so I'm not making it short. We can't park here. So even if someone gave us a car, we couldn't park it here, which is a big problem. But since we don't actually own a car yet, we weren't like in a hurry to move to find a place where we could park a car. But it's been in the back of our minds. The place we're in right now is a 3-bedroom, and if you're interested in seeing our place a while ago, I did an apartment tour when we first moved in, and a lot of things have changed since then, but the basic layout's the same, so you can go take a look at that. But it's a nice sized place. I don't know the exact square footage or ping. Here they measure things in a measurement called ping, and I don't know the exact square footage of a ping either, but it's a pretty good sized place. And if you remember from some of my videos, the tour and other things, we have a giant bedroom upstairs, which is really awesome. I'm gonna miss the bedroom a lot. 2 decent sized bedrooms here in the basement. I'm in one of them, and a pretty nice sized main floor for the city anyway. And we got this place at a really decent price. That's kind of at the top of our budget. where was I going with that? I forgot where I was going with that. But, there were a few things about this apartment that we didn't like when we moved in, but we were compromising, because you have to compromise when you look for places here. You're not going to find your ideal place in Taichung, and if you do, you're really, really blessed or lucky or something. But at least for me, I think my standards are a little high for housing, or I discovered they were here when I had kids. And the things that in this apartment that I compromised on have now become like really annoying to me. Still doable, but annoying. Like the stairs, we have this 3 levels in our house that are split between little flights of stairs. And when Anna was learning to crawl and walk, we put up one baby gate, but it was a bit of a struggle to keep her from going up the stairs. We couldn't put a baby gate on. And her personality was such that she didn't really push it, so it didn't become too big of a problem. And thankfully, none of us have fallen down the stairs. But we easily could have fallen down the stairs and hurt ourselves because of the way that they're laid out. And I'm still scared that someone's going to do that. Now we have another baby who's going to be crawling soon, and I don't know if she's going to be as laid back as Anna. And so I'm a little worried about the stairs again. And I knew upon moving in here that the kitchen was small, but I didn't realize that not just the smallness of it. I can actually deal with a small kitchen, but it's the way that the kitchen's laid out that really bugs me. Maybe I'll show you in a little bit, but it's also in my other videos. There's like a narrow hallway kitchen, which is typical for Taiwan, but there's also like a wall and then kind of a pantry area of the kitchen where we've been eating because our dining room table's in there. And that wall in the middle and the way that the cupboard sticks out on the other side just creates this huge bottleneck into the kitchen. It's not really open into the rest of the house. And so whenever anybody opens the fridge, nobody else can get in the kitchen. When someone's standing in the kitchen, you can't really get in the kitchen. It's so annoying to me. So anyway, just small things like that after a couple years wear on you, you know. But those things in and of themselves were not big enough reasons to move. But in the back of my head, I was like, you know, if a place opens up or someone shows us a place, I would really like to go take a look, because I had a few things like I wanted a place with no stairs, and I would like an opener flow to our main floor where the kitchen's maybe a little bit bigger would be great, but just even more open would be great. Like an open dining area where we could host dinners would be great, because we don't have that here. We basically eat in a pantry or a closet, which is not great. So I discovered those things are actually priorities for me. But even though I enjoy having the bigger rooms and stuff, we actually don't fill a lot of the space we have here. So keeping those things in mind, that we'd like to eventually have a car, and I would like a different layout of a kitchen, and we'd like to not have stairs. We were keeping these things in mind, and we kind of generally were vaguely looking, I guess, now and then on 591.com, which is like a local housing site. And if you're moving to Taiwan, you can check it out. I think it's www.591.com.tw. 591 is kind of great for seeing what the housing looks like. But I find it a little frustrating to use 591 because when we did find places that looked good that we wanted to go see, we'd call about them, and most of the time they'd already be taken because housing moves really quickly here for some reason. And the few times, actually, there was one that was open that someone arranged for me to go see, but I decided I didn't want to at the last minute for some reason or other. So I've actually never had luck on 591 for one reason or other. All of the apartments I've lived here in Taichung have been either through asking at the doorman if there's the security guards of buildings here usually know if there's any open apartments in their buildings, and can put you in touch with landlords. So a couple of apartments we've lived in, I've asked that way. And one apartment, when I moved here, I just moved in with a couple other girls who already had a place, and then word of mouth just from having relationships with awesome people. So word of mouth is how we found our new place. So we kind of put feelers out at Jackson 5 at Aaron's school. So all the teachers there knew that we were sort of looking for a place, but not urgently, you know. And one of the teachers there ran into a parent on the street. By parents, I mean they had children in Jackson 5. One of the parents of the kids that goes to the school. I'm sorry, I'm repeating myself a lot, I guess. They just, you can say randomly or coincidentally, I really feel like God set up things in order. But she ran into him on the sidewalk, and they just started talking. And I don't even know how it was brought up, but it was brought up that one of the teachers at Jackson 5 was looking for an apartment. And this guy said, "Oh, I have an apartment. Would he like to come see it?" And so through that, we went to see the place, and by we I mean me, because Erin stayed home with the girls. We felt like that would be kind of annoying to bring them. So I went one morning with this teacher, who's also a friend of ours actually. She and her husband loan us their car sometimes. She's awesome. We went to go see the place with the landlord, this student's father, and I really liked it. When I walked in the building, I thought, oh my goodness, there's no way we're going to be able to live here, because it's beautiful. It was a beautiful building. It's a brand new building. It's only a year old. It's in an area of Taichung that's being newly developed. So it's actually the tallest building around. So you can see, we have a good view actually in this apartment too, but in the new apartment, there's an even better view. It's really, really awesome. There aren't other tall buildings, and in any window of the house, you're not looking into another apartment. You're looking into like a view of the city or the mountains or a rice field or something cool. So, the lobby of the building, it looks like a fancy hotel. I mean, it's really awesome. The building has amazing amenities just within itself. It has a gorgeous swimming pool. It looks like a resort or a hotel. In fact, it's nicer than the swimming pools at several hotels that I can think of. It's a beautiful swimming pool. There's a sandbox for kids. There's a little jungle gym thing for kids. Up on the roof, there's an area to hang your clothes, which is very typical in Taiwan, actually. But the area to hang your clothes on the roof is covered with a clear plastic thing, so that if you forget to take your clothes down in time and it rains, your clothes won't get soaked, which is really smart. But the sun can still come through to dry your clothes because it's clear plastic. And then in the middle of the hanging things, there's like a nice little rock pit for kids to play in. So your kids can play while you're hanging up your clothes, and it's just like, well, that's so smart. Anyway, there's a little hydroponic garden room where somebody they hire, I don't know, the building, grows organic lettuce, and you can get on a sign-up sheet to get your tenant's share of the organic lettuce. I mean, it's kind of crazy. There's a coffee shop within the building, and every tenant gets a certain amount of money or points per month to go use in the coffee shop. There's an awesome like party room there that you do have to rent. You don't get to use it for free as a tenant, but it's available for a decent rent. It has like a gorgeous kitchen if you want to sponsor a buffet or cater something. I mean, it's really beautiful. And then there's like a general meeting room. There's a little library. Beautiful amenities. So that's what I noticed first when I walked in. And I've never been in a building so beautiful before. At least not considering that I might live there. So, what am I going to say? Oh, the apartment itself, when I walked in, it hit me with just how beautifully laid out the place is. There's hardwood in every room. Typically here in Taiwan, most apartments, newer ones, but especially older ones, newer ones may have hardwood floors in some of the rooms, like the bedrooms. Like our bedroom upstairs has a hardwood floor, but the rest of the rooms are tile. And yeah, tile floors are pretty much the standard. You can see, maybe I can show you, tile. That's pretty much what all the floors here in Taiwan look like, bedrooms. And it always kind of irked me that bedroom floors were tile, because to me, tile belongs in the kitchen or the bathroom. So I really, really loved that our bedroom upstairs was hardwood floor, and at least my bedroom didn't have a tile floor like a bathroom in this house. That was something that really sold me on the place here. So to walk into this new apartment and see that all the floors were hardwood was really, really incredible to me. It's such a small thing, but it makes me happy. Of course, the kitchen had tile in the bathrooms, but it has beautiful lighting, which is another important thing to us, like natural lighting from the windows. The kitchen is open to the living area, which was something that, as I said earlier in this video, is really important to me. There's no like bottleneck thing that could go on. The kitchen is slightly bigger than the one I have now as far as like counter space and stuff, so that's not a huge step up, but the layout of it is much nicer. And there's an area for a dining table that would also be open to the rest of the room. So the whole flow of the living area in the new place will be nicer. Let's see what else. It's also a 3-bedroom, 2 bathrooms. The bathrooms are gorgeous. When we moved into this house, I thought these bathrooms were great. And they are. Of course, now we don't have a tub anymore, which is another story. You can go find my video on our bathroom renovation. Anyway, I missed the tub. The new place has a tub, and the bathrooms are like granite or marble or something. Maybe it's fake, but it's really beautiful. And one of the things that I noticed right away in the master bathroom was that the windows in the master bathroom don't look out onto another apartment like they do here and in all of my other apartments. Either there was a tiny small window that looked out onto nothing, or there was a window that like looked out onto another apartment, which of course you have to keep closed. I actually really like it when bathrooms open out onto something like pretty, like a greenery or something. I don't know why, it makes me happy to take a shower or go in the bathroom in the morning and see green. When I went home to Suriname this summer, one of the first things I noticed, and when I woke up the next morning and went into the bathroom, is that when I looked out the window, I saw trees. And I thought, I love seeing trees in the morning in the bathroom. It's such a dumb small thing, but it made me so happy. And I noticed when I walked into the master bathroom of this new apartment that there are 2 windows in it. One looks out on a gorgeous view of the city, and the other one looks out on some trees. And I was like, this is what I want. I want trees out my bathroom window. There's cabinets under the sinks in the bathrooms over there, which is something I've also never had in an apartment in Taiwan. These are things that in the US seem like they just come with apartments, but here they're in pricier apartments, these more Western style details. Gorgeous fancy Japanese style toilets, and the place comes with 2 parking spots in the garage. So by now you're thinking, yeah, great, Sharon, this is an awesome deal. And it is, but there were 2 huge drawbacks to this place, and we gave it a lot of thought and prayer before we decided to move there. The number 1 big drawback to the place is that it is much smaller than our current place. It's beautiful, it's well laid out, very smart design, sleek, modern, everything beautiful, but it is small. There are 3 bedrooms, but they're much smaller than these bedrooms. Now I'm in the smallest bedroom of this house. I don't know if you can get a sense of the size of this room. The master bedroom in the new house is about this size, maybe slightly bigger. It is really small. So the problem with that is we would have to downsize a lot. And my thinking on that is not that I don't want to get rid of stuff, because actually I do. It's just a lot of work. So I really had to think, because I'd be doing the majority of the work. Could I do that? Could we really get rid of that much stuff? And we decided that we could. And it wouldn't be that hard. We just have to be really smart about what we keep and how we store it. And we could live in a smaller area. We also, the options for expansion, if we do have a 3rd child, are about the same as this apartment. We would be able to move 2 girls into 1 room with a bunk bed. And stuff like that. So our timeline for outgrowing a house is actually the same in the new apartment as it is here. It doesn't offer us more space for expansion or anything, but it doesn't offer us less either, if that makes sense, because it has 3 bedrooms. So we decided that we could do with the smaller space, and that would be okay. Especially since the building itself has a lot of stuff to do outside the apartment too. Actually, there were 3 drawbacks. That was number 1. Number 2, the place is unfurnished, which is kind of a bonus, because then you get to furnish it the way you want, because a lot of apartments here come with kind of crappy furniture. Like, for example, our terrible sofa that broke open holes after 6 months. But it is a high expense when you move in and you have to furnish an apartment. Thankfully, though, things started falling into place for that too. For example, we got a free sofa from someone who was moving across town, and we just managed to snag their sofa. It's not an amazing sofa, but it's clean and it'll work for us. So things like that, we actually haven't had to pay barely anything so far, and we've mostly got all the furnishings we need. So God is really good to us. So that's not a problem now, but it was at the beginning when we were considering this. And the 3rd thing is the area of town it's in has a lot of pros and cons. The pros of the area of town is that it's a lot quieter, much quieter. It feels like countryside for Taiwan anyway, but it's still in the city limits. The air seems a little cleaner out there somehow, even though it's only 6 minutes up the road. So those are big pros of the area. It's more beautiful. There's like they call it a river. It's actually like a sewage canal, but it looks nice even though you know what it is. And it's lined with trees all the way up the road in the front of our apartment, and it's long. So like it's good for walks, like if you want to put a baby to sleep, because the sidewalks are nice and wide and there's not a lot of traffic and stuff. So I mean, that's really kind of awesome. But the cons of the area is that it's not within easy walking distance of a lot of things. So there is a park right up the road, which is something that's important to us. There's a grocery store within about a 10-minute walk. So here there's grocery stores. There's like 2 options of nice chain grocery stores within 3 minutes of our apartment. This is a great area that we live in right now. So that would be a lot less convenient. It's a little bit farther to get to a convenience store. We're not sure if there's a local market nearby yet. So it's a little bit of a less convenient area. And since we walk everywhere right now, that may be a little annoying in the future. But I think we can work with it, especially if we're going to get a car. So And then the biggest thing is the landlord amazingly decided to work with us as far as rent. And I'm not going to disclose details of that, but it's doable. Let's say it's doable. So we're really grateful. It seems like God's really giving us a really big blessing, and maybe he's going to give us a car too. We don't know how that'll work out in the future, but it'll be an option now that we're moving. So I'm actually really excited about it, but it's a lot of work. And I guess I've already showed you this room, but maybe you've noticed things are starting to get packed up in here. And I've been selling and giving away lots of stuff, and I still have lots of things to go through. So, yeah, so that's what's going on. I noticed that my video now is hit 20 minutes, and I've been talking for 20 minutes. So if you sat through this, good job. And if not, then sorry. So anyway, yeah, I'll try to do another video in a week or two just to kind of update you on how the packing and stuff is going, because this video's gotten really long. But if you have any questions about housing or anything here, I'd be glad to try to answer them a little bit. I feel like this is my 5th apartment now in Taiwan. I'm starting to get a little bit experienced with the moving process here. So, all right, guys, I'll leave it at that for now. And don't know when I'll be back with another video, but hopefully not too long. Okay, bye.